Welcome, Mystics. April here. It's time for a new year, and that means it's time for a new year reading. I'm going to talk about 6 different readings in this that you can do for the new year. If you don't have a tarot journal, I really want to encourage you to get one for this year. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Just go to TJ Maxx or some discount place like that and pick up a journal for yourself. You can decorate the outside. Writing down your readings over the year is an amazing way to learn, and you definitely want to write down your reading for the year because you want to reflect on it at the end of the year. There are timestamps down below as usual, so you can click around to the readings that really interest you. So before we jump into it, I want to share with you a really cool idea. I'm getting ready to do a brand new tarot grimoire. The difference between a tarot journal and a tarot grimoire is that your tarot journal is something that you journal your readings in, and a grimoire is where you collect information or knowledge that you put together. If you've been collecting all of my free PDFs, they're down below in the box, then maybe you want a place to put them. My last grimoire is full, so I'm doing a new one, and I'm going to put up a video next week on making a grimoire, but you may want to try this out. You can purchase an inexpensive tarot deck, and I'll put some links down below to some of the ones. Do your drawing for the year, then you can glue the cards that you use in your journal for the year so that you have them in there to kind of study and look at, and then use the remaining cards for decorating your new grimoire. And again, I'll have a video up on that next week. Some things to remember that will make your New Year's reading that much better. Make sure you're not stressed, cleanse your area and your decks, get clear on the questions you're asking, and give yourself plenty of time to do the reading. And you need only draw the cards right now and go back to journaling on them later. This is magic by your making, so do it your way. Feel your way into it and let the process expand and flow. All right, let's jump into these 6 readings. The first spread is the 12-month spread. Very simple. You're going to draw a card for each month of the year. Now, what you want to do is you want to get a clear and concise question that you're going to be asking for the entire year. Getting that question in mind, making sure that you're clear about what it is that you're working on for the year is important. I'm going to talk about doing a pre-reading for this later on in the video, but here are some questions that you can ask yourself. You may want to choose healing as your purpose for the year. So what am I healing? And then you'll ask, what am I healing for this month? Keep the question the same unless you're taking copious notes for month by month. What's the medicine I'm receiving for this month? What will I learn? What's the superpower I'm developing during this time? You want to put all of these in your tarot journal, so you'll do the 12-month reading, you'll pull a card for each month, and then what I like to do is to take my tarot journal and put the name of that card on that month and leave myself a couple pages. Some of you are journalers and some of you aren't. And you can do 2 cards as well for the month. What is the light? What is the shadow? What is the healing? What is the medicine? What is the challenge? What is the power? And some of you may want to do a tarot and then an oracle card. And I think this is a great way to go because you can choose at the beginning of the year, what deck do I really want to become familiar with, and choose to read with that deck. So if there's a new oracle deck that you're working with that you really want to dive into, you can choose that for your 12-month reading as well. Next is a 13 moons reading. That's the one that I'm going to be doing. There are 13 moons in a quote-unquote calendar year. So I go from new moon to new moon. How many of you out there are lunatics just like me? I love to follow the moon cycle, and it's something that I feel very connected to. So starting at the new moon and going from new moon to new moon makes sense to me. In this way, you just get clear on your question again, and you may want to add another aspect to it where you leave room for yourself to make intentions for that month based on the card and the question that you asked. So some of you just aren't much of journalers, or maybe you just don't connect with the months, it's too much, and maybe what you want to do is a seasonal reading. So just 4 cards that you would draw. Maybe you have 2 or 3 cards that you do for each season. Maybe you do, where am I at? What am I working on? What is my medicine? Or what am I bringing to healing? Or what is the universe giving me in order to raise my vibration and come into my higher consciousness? If you've never had a tarot journal and this is something that you're thinking about, I'm going to do a video next week about tarot journals and tarot grimoires, and you may want to check that out. So consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you remember to come back here. I'm going to have tons of great ideas for using these books to really springboard your tarot or oracle card reading to a new level. And some of you are going to really connect with the Wheel of the Year. So doing the quarters and the cross quarters are going to be something that really makes sense to you. I tend to remake my altars on the quarters and the cross quarters, and so this is a great way for me to dive in as well and to really look at what the season is bringing forward. Connects you with nature and brings you to a new level of connecting with your cards through nature, and I really love that aspect. Some of you are going to want to do a pre-year reading, and for me that just talks about what has gone on in the last year. In many ways, doing a pre-reading helps you to get clear on what the year you're stepping out of has offered you, what you've learned, and then it allows you to clear your head and then do your reading once the new year has arrived. So how do you time your reading? Are you going to do it before the new year? Are you going to do it on New Year's Eve? Are you going to do it on the first new moon of the new calendar year? It's entirely up to you. If you've come to this video and it's the middle of January or even the middle of the year, don't feel like you can't go ahead and do this. Maybe you want to do it for the rest of the year from whatever point you are, or the next cross quarter or quarter, the next new moon, the next month. It's okay to start wherever you're at. That's always the best place. Magic is found in focus and significance. So it's where you put your focus and your significance that is going to make this reading profound and meaningful for you. So just search your heart and decide what's best for you. Lastly, some of you may want to just do a year overview. And so I'm going to teach you here a modified Celtic cross. Take out your notebook because I'm going to go quickly. You may have to go back and watch this again. Or if you want, you can download the PDF that I have down below in the description box for this reading. You can take that in your tarot grimoire or have it on hand as you do this reading. Even if you're brand new to tarot reading, I want to encourage you that you can do this. This reading is something that you have lots of time to get into, to study. The purpose is to get to know these cards and how they're reflected in your life over the period of a whole year. So there's no rush. Just trust yourself and trust that you're going to grow in your understanding of each one of the cards that you draw. Card number 1 represents where you are in last year. Give yourself some time while you're shuffling the cards to just feel your way into the last year. Try to be in a good mindset. Maybe take a salt bath before you do this. Purify the room and your energies. Really get into a place where you allow the feeling of last year, the vibration of last year to bubble up before you pull this card out. Card number 2 is how you stand in your power now. This is the culmination of who you are, everything that you've learned and what you're embodying right now. Card number 3 is your blessing for the year. If for some reason you draw a card that feels difficult or negative, this is how you're going to learn to reframe that. This is how you're going to grow into the blessing or the offering of the tarot or oracle card that's there. Remember that the universe is for you and not against you. Your 4th card is the shadow you'll be diving into this year. Within your shadow is untapped power. So remember, this is what you'll be diving into and what you'll be learning about yourself, the power that you'll be reclaiming. Number 5 is the light that you carry. This is almost an encouragement. This is the conscious understanding of what you have and how you wield that power within your sovereignty. Next, we're going to move on to the stairs. Some call it a ladder, but we're going to do it stairs. So you've got card number 6 right here. This is your medicine for the year. As you ascend up the stairs, you're going to find that this medicine is something that supercharges you. You'll be using it every single month in order to get healthy and well in your spirit and soul. Number 7 is a message from beyond. Spirit guides, God, the universe, creation, whatever it is that you feel is right for you and how you connect, this is your message from your spirit team. Card number 8 is your obstacle or springboard for the year. An obstacle is a unit of energy that we are encountering in our lives that we are to use in order to grow and become more. That's why this is your springboard. Every obstacle, everything that we overcome helps us to spring into our higher selves. I suggest that you leave this card face down until you've done the entire reading and flip it over last. I always like to read this one last and not have it sort of taint the reading itself. Number 9 is your victory card. Before you draw this card, I want to encourage you to explore what you think victory means for you. To maybe learn to embrace the word victory as moving into your higher self, your higher vibration, overcoming and being an overcomer, coming into something that is deeply resonant and new and profound for yourself for the year. Last but not least is card number 10. This is the wind in your sails. This is the energy that will be blowing you to your new self and away from your old self this year. It actually overshadows all the cards. So you can think of it as a lens, like rose-colored glasses maybe, or blue-colored glasses. It's going to be overshadowing or blowing through each aspect of the cards that you've drawn. Lastly, I'd like to encourage you to shuffle between each card, concentrating on the question at hand. If at any time you find yourself becoming distracted, take a deep breath and start over. You may even want to put your cards through smoke or do some kind of energy clearing before you go on. If you find yourself distracted, you can take a break and come back at a later date as well. There's no rush on this reading. Leave a piece of advice down below for all the new tarot readers out there. If you're a seasoned tarot reader, give your best tip for a really good reading. Hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and you may want to check out this video over here or my other channel over here. I want to remind you that those free PDFs are down below, including the reading that I did at the end here. Until we meet again, merry meet and merry part. Isn't Namir just the cutest? She's laying right there. She's always with me when I'm recording. She loves to be out here in the spirit room. Oh, what a cute little baby.